Now, when it comes to Tyler the Creator's upcoming album, Chromacopia, the hype has never been higher for this record, as Tyler has given us an absolute masterclass in terms of how to roll an album out, because just in the span of about a week, Tyler has announced the album, given us a release date, dropped a single, announced an entire tour, and is even going to be doing a listening party that will be going down just hours before the record is available for the entire world to listen to. And now, through all of these announcements and everything else he has pulled off, Tyler has seemingly left behind a breadcrumb trail, which has been giving us clues to one of the most important parts about this world that he is welcoming us to, and this is of course with the features. And today, I'm going to be reading in between the lines of this rollout and entire era from Tyler so far to find out who are going to be the guests that have helped build and shape Tyler's vision for Chromacopia. Now, before we can look at this list of artists who are going to be joining him, be sure to take to the comments and drop 3 artists that you want to hear on this record most, and subscribe and leave a like while you're down there. It helps me out a ton. And so now, fortunately, when it comes to knowing who's featured on this album, as right alongside Tyler announcing more dates than he ever has for a series of concerts, which in of itself should just tell you how high he is shooting for with this entire era of his career, Tyler has also revealed that joining him on what will without a doubt become the biggest tour he has ever done are none other than Paris, Texas, and Lil Yachty. And now, with both of these acts, I think it's safe to say that we can expect both of them to appear on Chromacopia, as with Paris, Texas, who, for those who don't know, are one of the most exciting and entertaining upcoming duos the rap game has had to offer in years. They're going to be stepping into the role of the upcoming act on this tour, who Tyler is hoping to help jumpstart their careers into legitimate stardom, very similar to the way Tyler did with Tizo Touchdown during the entire Call Me If You Get Lost era. And if we remember, Tyler didn't just feature Tizo on Call Me If You Get Lost, but he took him on the road, and Tizo opened for all of the shows he did. So now with Paris, Texas, I would expect to see a similar thing with them here, and based on the duo's unhinged and chaotic sound that they have amassed a strong following with already, on paper, it seems like what they're doing will perfectly mold with the experimental vision that Tyler is trying to pull off with this record. And now for Lil Yachty, as Lil Boat and Tyler have only ever done one song together, and that was years ago on Yachty's Lil Boat 3, and we have seen these two grow a working relationship more and more over the years, all the way to the point where Yachty has expressed that he wants to make an entire collab album with Tyler recently. When you consider all of this and the fact that Yachty is directly in Tyler's tour announcement trailer, which makes him the first rapper to officially appear in any of the material for the record, I think it's safe to say that Yachty is locked in to be a part of the world of Chromacopia. And so now from here, another feature that we know that's 100% confirmed is Danielle Caesar, who we had the pleasure of hearing on the first song Tyler previewed from this record, Saint Chroma, and who knows, maybe he will have an even greater presence on that track when we hear it in full. And now joining these 3 artists, which are 100% locked in, we do know another feature that is almost fully confirmed for this record as well. And this one will definitely shock a lot of people and may just become the most surprising voice we ever hear on a Tyler album, which is obviously saying a lot when you see just how insane his features have been over the years. And the artist I'm talking about is none other than Sexy Red. And now, while this collab may seem like it would make no sense, and on paper it definitely doesn't, knowing the way Tyler makes music, that's why it will end up working out. And now the reason we know Sexy Red is gonna be here is because she did an interview just a few months ago, and she said that Tyler called her out of the blue and made her get in the booth to record for a song that, in Tyler's very own words, said she was perfect for. So either we are gonna hear Sexy Red on Chromacopia and her feature is gonna join the likes of people like NBA Youngboy on What's Your Name as one of the most surprisingly enjoyable features of its respective year, or the song is just not gonna make the final version of Chromacopia for whatever reason that may be. And now, beyond these artists who we would all be shocked to see if they weren't on this album, we are now going to be diving into the artists who are not fully confirmed to be features here, but by looking at the patterns of how Tyler usually collaborates with artists on his albums and based on what these respective talents have said, we can see that something is clearly going on between them and Tyler. And now the first rapper who is within this category, and that I think we will see make an appearance on Chromacopia, is none other than Schoolboy Q. And now the reason why Q seems like such a strong candidate to be featured here is because first off, he posted that he heard the record in full, which, considering this alone, is already showing that he's closer to Tyler than almost anyone else is. And as we know, Q and Tyler consider each other close friends, and the theme of this album seems to be centered around privacy and the most interpersonal thoughts and worries. More than almost anyone else in the industry, these two understand each other on a level that can play masterfully into what is seemingly becoming a very deep and introspective concept from Tyler, better than really any set of artists can. And now on top of this, as Top Dog Entertainment's Devin Malik has been hyping up this album non-stop, and he pretty much became Schoolboy Q's protege this year, working with him super closely on his Blue Lips album, Malik being so excited for this album and talking about it almost like he has heard a lot of it seems like a reflection of where Schoolboy Q's artistic journey has been at this year, which seems to be very aligned with Tyler's. And now, on top of all of this, considering the visual language of Tyler's new character on this album, which of course is being defined by its signature mask, and then also knowing that Schoolboy Q has literally been referred to as Blankface and is best remembered for an album of his like 2014's Oxymoron, where his face is being covered by a mask. There just seems to be way too many parallels and connections between these two for Q to not be here. And now, beyond the connections and what Tyler has already told us, another way we can start to pin down who is going to be featured on this record is by seeing which artists are going to be performing at Tyler's very own Camp Flog Gnaw Music Festival, as generally speaking with Tyler albums and who is joining his festival, there's always some sort of crossover between who is playing in the lineup that he handpicks and who he has been working on his full-length projects with over the years. And now when we look at the lineup Tyler has in store for us this year, and we understand that the concept of Chromacopia on some level is going to be detailing what is looking like Tyler's battle with himself to run away from the spotlight and live a private life away from everything that defines the industry. There is one name on this lineup that embodies the very goal of what Tyler wants more than almost anybody else in the entire history of the music industry has. And that is, of course, none other than Andre 3000. And now, in the past, these two have both been on record saying they are super close friends, and Andre has even been on record cryptically alluding to the fact that he was the one playing the flute on Call Me If You Get Lost. And even beyond this, which would have obviously happened multiple years ago at this point, we also know that Andre 3000 was in a studio session with Tyler the Creator and Frank Ocean when he played both of them his 2023 solo album New Blue Sun. So knowing that these two have not stopped working and being close friends, and seeing that Andre represents the sheer embodiment of what Tyler is rapping about wanting to get away from on a track like Noid, he's another personality that ties into what Tyler is doing perfectly, and whether he is rapping, playing the flute, doing both, or something in between, it seems like he can deliver one of the more exciting performances on this entire LP, and also on the Camp Flog Gnaw lineup, who could very well end up being on this record. A trend we have seen more and more from Tyler as he has become bigger in the industry is that he loves embracing younger talent and helping them get to the next level. And because of this, I think we could very well end up seeing more younger artists alongside Tyler like Jordan Ward, Tommy Richmond, or Doechii, as Tyler has been showing so much support for all three of these individuals, and has been expressing that he is huge fans of what they're doing, and all of these artists could complement Tyler in so many different ways. So I think if you end up hearing Tyler trying to put more artists on than ever here, don't be shocked if you see Tyler giving any of these artists the biggest collaborations of their career so far, and now also in this lineup and who we maybe will see on the album, and this would definitely be one of the biggest features we possibly could get, is none other than Playboi Carti, as considering the fact that Chromacopia seems to be mirroring Igor in a lot of ways, especially in terms of its branding, and Carti and Tyler have both evolved so much since the last time they got together and made Earthquake in 2019. While there's no stronger link than this between them right now, I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility to see Tyler and Carti come together another time around, and in the fashion of everything that they have both been doing with their own respective brands over the past few years. Just shock everyone with how different sounding whatever they cook up together will end up being. And now, rounding out this list of potential features and collaborators on this album, someone who I think we can lock in and will have some sort of contribution to this album, whether it's with vocals, writing, a small production credit, or a full-blown feature, is Pharrell Williams, as considering that Pharrell has been on Tyler's last two studio albums, and that Pharrell has only seemed to embrace him more in recent years as he has given him some amazing opportunities, like giving Tyler his own Louis Vuitton collection, and then also putting Tyler both in the soundtrack and actual film of his Lego movie Piece by Piece. Considering how these two always seem to be bouncing ideas off of each other and collaborating on their most significant projects, it would actually really be more shocking if Pharrell wasn't on this album in some way. And now, moving from here, we are now looking at features that, while not being impossible, are definitely less and less likely as we go down the list. And now the first one here who I think we will actually end up getting on Chromacopia, although that's just my own speculation, is Earl Sweatshirt, as when it comes to Tyler and Earl, I mean, it really feels like we are due to hear a new collab between them at this point, and considering how abstract and dark of a direction that Chromacopia seems to be going in, Earl seems like he could very well be the perfect addition to some of the sonic pockets that Tyler is tapping into here, and now even less likely and keeping things within the Odd Future circle. I mean, I have to say it, maybe we will see Frank Ocean deliver his first set of real vocals in years, because again, If the theme of this album is going to be about getting away from the spotlight, a guy who has not dropped an album in almost a decade and who has faded away at the very prime of his career, having an inclusion here would just make perfect narrative sense for the story of the record, and now beyond frank and really moving into territory where this is just pure speculation. I think the entire rap world would love to see Tyler do a song with Kendrick Lamar and Baby Keem, as this is another moment that could truly sound like nothing else we have ever heard. And now, as Kendrick and Keem did headline the last Camp Flog Gnaw, and Tyler did make a show-stealing appearance at Kendrick Lamar's pop-out, maybe there's a chance we see Tyler collab with at least one of them, but who knows? So overall, with all of this said, with all these names being in the pool of who may end up being on Chromakopia, I think we can see that this record is headed to a place where it is going to be a one-of-a-kind musical experience. And more than almost with any other artist, what's so exciting about looking at the names that will be working with Tyler? Beyond having these guests for the glamour or sales boost of star power, Tyler will use every single one of these guests and whoever else may be on this record as a sort of instrument to help expand and create the perfect vision. And now in a music world where only few artists do this and don't use their features as a simple marketing gimmick, I mean, it really makes us all the more lucky to witness Tyler operate on a level that only few other rappers can match right now. And so now with all this said, let me know. What do you think about the potential guest list of Tyler, the Creator's new album, and what features are you hoping to hear on this record the most? Now, I can't wait to hear what you have to say, and since we are so close to getting Chromakopia, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you are up to date on everything you need to know about the album. And now, if you want to hear why the music industry is actually scared of Tyler, the Creator's new album, check out the suggested video.